Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the great wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes have begun to reform Akkah. Quinny was sentenced to weekly therapy and confession for his murder. Moss recovered her bravery arguing with the king, and Butthole found someone to get the Ravengate temporarily working. But can they keep the various enemy envoys from killing each other? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Bucky is standing in the hallways of the Fortress of Forlorn Hope. As you will recall from when we started recording this yesterday, which feels kind of like 6 years ago, I've provided you all with a picture of the Fortress of Forlorn Hope, which incidentally does sync up pretty well with some mock-ups we've seen from fans. So, like, good job, listeners and viewers. So, Bucky, you were going for a wander on the second floor from your quarters. What was Bucky doing today? What was the business of the day before he was so rudely interrupted?
Well, he was changing all the sheets in the beds that no one has come back to for several days, but he changed fresh sheets every day just in case. And then there's the washing and the cleaning up. And then
sheets.
Yeah. But like dusting and things like that of the rooms, and then any and all tasks requested by him of virtually anyone else at the Fortress of Forlorn Hope, and then breakfast, and then
Annan has like actively tried to stop him from doing this and can't, and it's just like, okay, this is just what we're doing. Amazing. So, Bucky, you're having your quiet morning, and you hear the sound of fireworks from Butthole's room. So you rush, you throw open the door, and sure enough, in the giant picture over the bed, there's a stabilized portrait, or a stabilized portal rather, in the portrait. That was a dumb call on my part. Mario 64 style that you can see through, and King Butthole is on the other side. He's alive. This is the first we've heard from from Team Suicide Mission, given that happened 4 days ago.
Yeah.
They've been gone for a while, but like the end of Akkah War was like 4 days ago. Or no. End of Akkah War was yesterday. Good God. You guys have had
Is this all a fucking day?
No, because the Akkah War took 3 days.
Yeah, the finishing off. So, you defeated the Lich Lord. Lich Fall was 3 days ago.
Okay.
This is day 4.
Jesus Christ.
But you guys also had to go through the
went through the mines.
You did the mines, you did the travel. So it's been a hot sec since anyone has heard head nor hide. Seen neither hide nor hide. So, Bucky, you've greeted Butthole.
Mr. Butthole, it's you.
Yeah, that's right, Bucky. So I left you a note there. You got to figure out how to make the Ravengate open to our Ravengate here. I have this one, but it's hooked up to a painting because an elf helped.
Okay.
Also, you're going to be a diplomat now.
Yeah. What is that?
We'll explain more when you're here, but essentially you have to be everybody's friend.
I get to go there and see you.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I'll go get my things.
Great, but you got it. No, take the letter. Take the letter to Annan.
Okay.
Yeah, then Annan can help sort out everything with the Ravengate. It all explains.
Okay, I'll bring it to Annan right now. Are you gonna stay here? Are you gonna come with us? Are you gonna?
I got to stay on my side of the painting, and then when the gate works, we'll be able to bring you guys over. Or I can do this for like 10 minutes a day. So let's say like tomorrow morning, we'll bring over all the important people on that list.
Oh, this list. Okay.
Yeah, that list. You've got time to pack. Don't worry.
Okay. I don't own very much.
Great. You don't have to bring very much.
Okay, my bindle is ready.
Okay. Give the note to Annan. You can come through now.
Oh, goody. And he's just going to run out of the room and find Annan.
And we just count down 9 minutes, hoping he can do it in 9 minutes.
I was going to say, off camera, just as we were heading back down after our break, Tyler's like, oh, man, I don't have Bucky's character sheet on me. I was like, that won't matter. Hey, Tyler.
Yeah?
You go ahead and roll me a... do
acrobatics.
Say investigation. I'll give you advantage, and we'll say it's at +4.
All right. So we're going to use a 5 for a total of 9.
Bucky.
But are you like waiting, or do you go back around your day?
Butthole, wait. He's got 10 minutes at this window. Like, he can give Bucky 10 minutes.
Okay.
Moss is still waiting outside. Like,
yeah. So
Quinny's somewhere else.
Bucky, you go sprinting through the Fortress of Forlorn Hope. You run past Yevgenovich's like top hat mannequin, just like awkwardly making its way with just bags of empty bottles on his back towards the potion lab.
Good morning, Mr. Yevgenovich. Good morning, sir. Mr. Yevgen. Good morning. I have to find Annan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to move away from her because she's kind of mad I'm doing this potion thing. All right, bye.
And you run past him. You poke your nose into the potion lab, and you take a quick look around. Annan's not there. You book it down the stairs into the great hall. The fantabulous Frondu is like teaching some of the kids about dragons and just like the nature of dragons with like little glasses on his nose. So just kind of run through there.
Good morning, Mr. Frondu.
Oh, hello there, Bucky. Everybody looks like Bucky's in a big hurry. And like all the kids laugh and wave. You are their favorite person. There's literally no one they like more than Bucky.
Good morning, everyone. I have to go. Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Bucky. So you run out of the great hall. You run down the stairs. In the storerooms, you find like Trax and Dex just like taking careful stock of everything.
Good morning, Mr. Trax. Good morning, Mr. Dex.
And Dex is like, Bucky.
I also love canonically knowing this is like 9 p.m.
So Dex was about to say, yeah. It's like,
it's the end of our day. We made this call.
Hey Bucky, yeah, are you all right there? Did you get hit in the head? It's like 9 p.m. as Ryan just said somewhere.
Oh, I was just starting my day again.
Yeah,
you know how
right.
I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I do a number of chores and tasks for people and I take about a 3-hour nap in the evening and then it's morning again for me.
And Trax is like, hang on a second. You're saying that you take a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day?
Well, the middle of the afternoon and evening.
Well, what's getting done then?
Oh, I have to wait for a buildup of new tasks because I'll have finished everything by then.
He turns to Dex. He's like, we've been down here taking stock of our dwindling food this whole time. And Bucky could have been doing it. And Dex is like, yeah, that does sound like a thing. And like time is ticking down for Bucky. But with that 9.
Yeah. Oh, I can help you with that. I'll just have to figure out when I can do that between going to see Mr. Butthole in the picture.
Wait a minute. You saw Butthole. You drew a picture of. You know what? That's okay. Yeah, he's in our hearts.
No, I saw him just now for real. He gave me this list. I have to give it to Annan.
Hey, can I look at that?
Okay.
Yeah, let me roll persuasion.
Bad, whatever it was.
I rolled a 1. No,
investigation.
Bucky, you are not tricked by Dex's meddling. I wasn't going to do anything bad with it. He just wanted to read it because he wants to be involved. Okay. Yeah, can I read that?
This is an important document from Butthole to me for Annan. I have to give it to her right away.
Oh,
I'm still looking
I wouldn't want to piss off Annan. All right, well, we're dealing with all this new food that started growing outside. So will you just come back when you have time and we can talk about how many fucking cabbages or whatever we're dealing with.
Okay, sounds good. Have you seen Miss Annan anywhere?
No, yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Okay, bye.
So you rush out into the massive chamber with the permanent Ravengate. Mog Crankshaft is standing nearby. He says, hey there, Bucky, listen.
Good morning, Mr. Crankshaft.
It's the evening there, son. Listen, I have
like second morning for me, but I'll go ahead.
Second morning. Okay, so are you stuck in a time loop? Because I tell you, I got a great scheme for a time loop. All we would need to do is we would find a place that was stuck in a time loop, and we would go there and we'd observe what everybody does. But then we would know. So when the time loop happened, we would be able to steal everything because we would know exactly where everyone went. You in?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Do you know where there's a time loop?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, have you seen Miss Annan?
No.
Okay, I have to go. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. So off you go. You're tearing around. You run into the armory, and Trick is there. With his fence, he's like looking over some of the stuff in the armory. He says, "Oh yes, Mr. Bucky, you are in hurry."
Good morning, Mr. Trick.
Good. It is your morning, yes, because you are after your afternoon now.
Yes, my second morning. Yes.
Have you had your breakfast yet?
Not yet.
You should have breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, no matter when in the day you have it.
That's true. That's why I have it twice.
Oh, this is a good thing. You are very smart, Mr. Bucky. Not many people give you credit for how smart you are.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Trick.
You are most welcome.
Have you seen Miss Annan anywhere?
Oh, no, I've not seen Annan at all today. I've been down here counting all our various things. It's boring here without Mr. Quinny, yes?
Oh, yes. Mr. Quinny is very, very interesting and brings a lot of excitement. I might see him soon. I have to go now.
Okay, well, good luck. Stay out of fighting. It's important. I can't say why, but stay out of fights.
Thank you, I will.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you run back up the stairs, run outside, and into the greenhouse gardens. Honor System and Declan. Bucky is running towards you.
Declan hides. Declan hates having to do pleasantries.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
That 20.
Nice.
Declan's a ghost. How about Honor System?
Honor System standing there, gardening.
Great.
So just, Good morning, Mr. Honor System. Bucky, good morning. Oh, fuck me. I was like, and someone else will take this. Nope.
Declan hides. So pleased to not have been seen by Bucky.
Where's Mr. Declan today? Declan is hiding, Bucky. Oh, that sounds fun. Have you seen Miss Annan? Has he? I'm assuming no at this point.
No.
Because it's generally no one's seen her?
No.
Okay. No, Bucky, I haven't seen Annan today. Okay, have a good day. Goodbye, Bucky.
And Bucky, you take off into the housing that's grown up around the greenhouse gardens, and you see Ginny out for a walk.
Good morning, Ginny.
Oh, hey, Bucky. Hi. Are you all right? You look more flustered than usual.
Oh, I'm just in a bit of a hurry this morning. I'm trying to find Miss Annan.
Annan?
Yes, Miss Annan. Have you seen her?
Yeah, she's upstairs in her quarters, 3rd floor.
I should have gone to her quarters first. Great thinking, Ginny. You're the best. Bye.
Bye. And Bucky, you take off running just as time ticks down. Butthole, you're staring through a portrait of your room.
Butthole and Reginald have both pulled up chairs and are just sitting waiting at this portal.
Yeah. From your perspective of the portal, you're sitting there and you just hear like, good morning, Miss Ivanovich. Good morning, Dex. Good morning, Trix.
And you hear doors close and running feet in between. Like it's all just
You just like book it past Mo. She's like, oh, hey, Bucky.
Good morning, Mr. Mo.
Why are you running around, kid?
Oh, I'm in a hurry. I have to find Miss Annan.
Oh, yeah, she's upstairs in her quarters.
I know. Bye.
What a day. Off you go. All right, so you go booking it, I imagine, like 2 stairs at a time, like full bounding.
Sure, yeah.
You bump into Penny and Ford on the stairs.
Well, hey there. Now, Mr. Bucky, we've had a good conversation about how dangerous it is to run near the stairs. My old Ford, he had a hard time making it up and down the stairs. Oh, I really did, and then I learned I had to take it a little bit more careful. Hey, you all right there? It looks like you're losing air.
Good morning, Miss Penny. Good morning, Mr. Ford.
Oh, now, Bucky, I've been telling you got to take more of a break between these days. I know you're taking those 3-hour naps, but a growing dragon boy like you needs more than that. So it's not the morning, it's the evening. You should be having a supper, not your second breakfast. So you come by our room later on. We've got a nice slow stew going. Is there anything you're allergic to or any ingredients you don't like?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm looking forward to finding out.
Okay, well, that's a little bit concerning. So we'll have to go through some ingredients with you. Now, Ford, what's in it? Okay, well, we got potatoes, we got carrots, we got onions. There's a lot of things from that new garden, but I don't quite trust magic gardens. You really got to put the work in, right, Mr. Bucky?
Yeah. I've had those 3 vegetables before. They don't kill me.
Well, okay then. Well, that's good. Well, hopefully this won't be a first time for anything. Okay, you run along now, but you be careful on the stairs.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye now. And you take off up the stairs around the corner, running past everyone's quarters.
Sandra sees you, but you don't see Sandra, so don't worry.
And finally, you arrive at Annan's door.
Just frantic knocking. Just knocking until the door is opened.
Yeah, Annan opens the door and is like, Bucky, where the fuck were you? I just checked your quarters. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Good morning, Miss Annan. I have a letter for you from Mr. Butthole.
Butthole's alive?
He is, and he's in his room, sort of.
Well, what? She grabs the letter, shoves past you, and then she goes running. Penny and Ford have made their way up to the 2nd floor. Hey, now, Miss Annan, I know you run the thing around here, but you can't be setting a bad example for the kids like Bucky. And she just shoves past them and runs into Butthole's room. And Butthole, you and Reginald see Annan and Bucky, and she's like, oh, thank Moon. And then the portal shuts.
All right, so she's going to read the letter. This is a net gain. All right, so we'll be ready to bring him over in the morning, and we'll get a list of people we need. We're going to start at arts and culture. Oh, and I got to talk to Moss about the laws. Reginald, I think you're good to go to bed. Nailed it. Off he goes. He's like, okay, all right, Moss, you could come back, Moss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the elf went down the elevator. So.
Everything's okay? It all worked?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
She left. It was weird, but it was good. I think she's a genius.
Okay.
We might have to pick a head mage, and I'm leaning towards that lady if I can convince her to come away from the forests.
I trust your judgment.
Can you roll a deception check?
Oh, I rolled a 4.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
She really does.
Nice.
She really does trust your judgment.
You're a loyal subject. Okay, so I was thinking about this law thing, and I think we've been looking at it very ephemerally, but if we know that it's a law that needs to be, like, generally approved, we got a whole list of envoys, and I'd say if we take, like, a list, like, maybe four of the biggest ones, like, Chromium or whatever
Cormier.
There we go. Cormier, probably Neverwinter, maybe Waterdeep, and just pick another one of your choosing. Get laws from like 4 different places, compare them around, put it together, build a little bit of Frankenstein law, present it to me. I'm sure we can like it.
I already have Cormier's main laws.
All right, so you only got to talk to 3 more people. And then you get their laws, and then build it off of that. It's probably easier than trying to build something from scratch.
I completely agree. Actually, just getting Cormier's laws gave me a really good starting point.
Great. So tomorrow, talk to those 3 people.
Neverwinter.
So your options are Waterdeep, Baldur's Gate, Mithril Hall, Neverwinter, and the Misty Forest / High Forest. Who is the lady you hate? So maybe
I think Mithril Hall, they're pretty different from us, so it would be good to get their perspective. What do you say, Butthole? Mithril Hall?
Sure.
That sound good? And, I mean, Neverwinter, I feel like that was a pretty established,
yeah, it seems like it's pretty
city.
standard, so that seems like a good one. They probably got the most like weird exceptions and niche stuff.
Yeah, and then Baldur's Gate, they're a little bit more like... Wait, is Baldur's Gate a little bit more war-y?
You want to roll me a history check?
A little bit more... Boo. 11.
I rolled a 6. So I'm like, if you want to find out the laws of a gate.
Well, I think that's just the name of the place. I think it's more than just a gate.
I mean, we all think a lot of things, but
I guess that's true.
Well, what do you think? Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate?
Even with your low rolls, from a scale perspective, you would know that Waterdeep is very large. Baldur's Gate is an interesting law case, even at distance, although Butthole does think it's just a gate, just given that it is like a well-known hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah.
Mithril Hall, you've already identified as being different, being a dwarven kingdom. Neverwinter, obviously, is where the Dum-Dums have spent more time, not necessarily you, Moss, but for the rest of them. And Misty Forest and High Forest are relatively unknown from that lady you hate.
Yeah.
you can go ask her about the law if you want.
I don't.
It's pronounced Lao.
I don't like. I'd rather not.
All right, so which ones are you thinking?
Baldur's Gate is going to be different. I'm kind of thinking Waterdeep.
Okay, so
because they're just very big, very complex.
Metropolitan.
Yes, exactly. So I think that they'll probably have the most sophisticated, not in terms of like being better, but more complex laws that
Comprehensive, yeah.
Comprehensive, indeed.
Okay, so Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Mithril Hall.
Mithril Hall,
and then you've already
so.
got the one from Cormier.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 3 people to talk to tomorrow.
Oof.
And then we'll be able to sort out the laws after that. So we'll lock that down by the end of the day tomorrow. Quinny's around being a spy, which is great. And I'm going to do some thoughts on arts and culture, how we could maybe have a little fiesta tomorrow to show our new friends how exciting and progressive our country is. But we really do need to find out the name of the country. Patty!
Good morning, King Butthole.
Oh, it's the morning? It's like 9 p.m.
It's just a thing. It was always just a thing old Patty Two Eyes thought might be funny because it seems like my day's been so long. It's like it's my morning.
Okay, well, you should go to bed soon.
Yeah.
Is the election over? Do we know the name of the country?
No, the election's ready. You had to call the election. I haven't called it yet. I thought you wanted to like say some words about democracy or something. If you want me to just run around and say, hey, let's go, I can just make it happen.
Oh, I kind of said the results had to be in by sundown, and I think it's like 9 p.m., so...
Sun's going down, big guy. What do you want to do?
That's not how we're going to do this.
I can go yell it off a balcony.
No, we'll let people vote until noon tomorrow. That seems fair. Do you want me to do a speech off the balcony?
Look, if you just do a speech, they're all ready. Like, just say the thing, they'll vote, and we'll get it tonight.
Okay, we'll get it tonight. I guess if they're all, it's only a couple thousand people. I'll be loud. Okay, so he like walks out of the balcony, and he just thaumaturgies the shit out of himself. And he's like, people of this nation, it's me, King Butthole. Obviously, Akkah is a place, and we've got this history with the Lich Lords, and it's going to cause everybody on the planet to want to kill all of us, which isn't great. So we need to do a rebranding of this great nation so it's different, but still great and the same. So we're giving you 3 different names. They're all going to be there for the election, and if you're a citizen of this city, state, then you get to vote. And we'll have a new name for this place tonight. Please vote. It's through the town watch. If you cheat, we're sorting out the laws, but it'll probably be against the law. I'll know by the end of tomorrow.
Okay.
I love you all. Yay.
Over the span of the next couple hours, votes are the nation of Akkah votes for the first time. Ironically, being somewhat closer to what it was founded to do and closer to the cult of Akkah and the initial intent. I'm going to roll some dice. I put together voting pools based on the names and Akkah, just broadly speaking, what they would care about and what they would like. So I'm going to roll the dice. Highest wins. Go democracy. Okay.
Our options are, for those at home,
That's right.
Asgard, New Butthalla, and Ashgard. That's the third one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I've tabulated the votes. Patty Two Eyes comes running up, very tired, and she says, "Okay, well, I got some exciting news for you. We've got the name of the new nation. Now, I've been talking to a lot of people, and they seem pretty jazzed about Ashgard, but I gotta tell you, those ballots were pretty smudgy, and people aren't necessarily too good at pronouncing their words here because of all the fighting. So Asgard won by a landslide. The people are kind of ambivalent about it. They didn't know what Butthole was and weren't really into that. But yeah, collectively, I think we kind of got our solution."
This is very good to know because it means that I am in touch with the people and what they want. As their king, that was the name I liked the most, and they picked it. I can't wait to tell Quinny. And he we'll do that in the morning, though. Quinny kept complaining about not having time to be a spy master, so he's going to try to give him 12 hours.
Quinny, what are you doing in your spy mastery, or are you waiting until your reinforcements arrive?
I mean, I'm still waiting. I've requested guys. I got to get my guys.
Yep.
But there was talk of Emily's unseen hand ledgers, records, that kind of thing. I'm in the Black Castle. I'm going to poke around and see if I can't get started on that. Figure out where she was leaving things.
Can you roll an investigation check, please?
I rolled an 8. I'm going to use my inspiration here because I want to do. Quinny wants to do a good job at this.
Coming off a breakup, he's trying to reinvent himself. I get it.
So that's better. That's 13 for investigation. Sorry, instigation. Quinny's very good at. Investigation, he's also pretty good at. So a total of 19.
19? Great. Okay, so it's actually not too hard to find traces of kind of what Emily was working on because, yeah, to your point, you're in the Black Castle. You have access to her quarters. I think the bigger thing is just like the width and breadth of the operation is somewhat staggering, and also the fact that it's dropped off a bit. So you get the sense that you're really dealing with kind of like what is left of the unseen hand post Lichfall. Grayson Typhus had no interest in it. It wasn't of value to him. So you really are dealing with kind of like what is the new version of this you can put together. But yeah, you've got a good sense of kind of the network of agents she has. You don't like necessarily have their names yet, but like you can start to put the pieces together. And I think with some guys on the case, you'll be able to kind of put together something you can start to use once you figure out how to get communication lines open. Realistically, looking at this is not dissimilar from the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, I'm
in a lot of
probably going
ways.
to try to think of it in terms like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's really not a huge stretch.
Okay.
So you can definitely see, I would say, just like the places that sort of stand out to you. Like the Sword Coast is very heavily influenced by the Unseen Hand, given that she knew that that's kind of where Butthole had kind of escaped to, and generally where things were. So you have Neverwinter is actually a question mark because after the Greywater folk took over, it was kind of hard to tell. So she's kind of like marked Neverwinter as somewhat burnt. A lot of presence in Waterdeep, some high level presence in Gryffindor. There are a few agents in Baldur's Gate. She has a high ranked member of Candlekeep. And then beyond that, kind of swinging over into the east, lots of folks in, there were people in Vassar, in Damara. She's basically got agents all the way along sort of the Moonsea area off to the east there. Less presence in Cormyr and Sembia, largely because she doesn't seem as concerned about them because they aren't sort of massive powers. But definitely some financial interest in Sembia. And a lot of her more recent stuff was about Thay, where the famed Red Wizards reside.
Thay, Thay?
That's correct.
Thank you. I'm just noting all of those places, summarizing that we have inroads at all of these places. We have spies in all of these places.
Yeah, and you'd have to basically, I think the challenge to you, Quinny, is going to be the nature of who these people are. Who will be loyal to you, who was loyal to the Unseen Hand. What you lack right now is information about who these agents are. So you can tell that you have presence in those places, but again, it's like, is it a loyal spy? You'd be like, yeah, great. Would it be someone like the captain who's like, yep, I understand. You're the new Unseen Hand? All in. Is it someone that Emily was blackmailing? Like, what is the nature of these people?
Okay.
And where do they rest? Is it someone like Gary, who is like kind of doing clandestine operations on behalf of a cause he believes in? You just don't have that information yet. But yes, those are the major inroads. There's also a long list of blacked out names that tried to infiltrate the Plantiers across the ocean and failed.
It's indicated in these records that no one successfully infiltrated the Plantiers.
Yep.
Fuck. That's foreboding.
It's fine. They're reformed. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Cool. So yeah, that is what you've got so far.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Is there anything all of you want to do this evening before we kind of close out for this first very eventful day of ruling?
Since we don't have envoys here from Neverwinter and Waterdeep, there is someone here from Mithril Hall, right? Did you say
you actually have envoys from all of those places.
Oh,
I just haven't given you the names. So from Waterdeep, you have Nahiri Larkstep.
Sorry, Nahiri?
Yep. From Baldur's Gate, you have Raish Grey.
Raish Grey. Okay.
From Mithril Hall, you have Perkidius Carlson, the dwarf.
Ah, yes.
From Neverwinter, you have Bluebeard the lawyer. From the Trial of Butthole Farch.
Oh, he's the envoy.
Yep.
Okay, right on.
From Neverwinter.
From Misty Forest High Forest, you have Fallenmeyer, Pink Blossom. And then the two kind of non-envoys, but people who are there, you have Sildar, who is Sildar Hallwinter, he is water. This is such a hard word to say. Waterdavian. He's from Waterdeep, but is a retired member of the Griffin Cavalry. He's basically there as like he's their Anon right now. He's just there, like, he's not leading them, but he's making sure that they navigate it. And there's a local representative, Agent Zora Rosaline Culkin, who was previously carrying out operations in Mulmaster in the east, who has kind of like arrived here to provide some form of local touch point.
Local as in Akkah?
No, local is in. She's been operating in Mulmaster, which is in the east. She's one of the few Lords Alliance agents to be operating in this region. So she's kind of showed up to be like, "Hey, remember those Princes of the Apocalypse I helped you deal with a while back?" Looks to camera. So not an envoy, just here to help. And she's the one who had her arm in a sling and kind of like calmed down the folks from Cormyr because she was a known quantity and there's just some concern that the Lord's Alliance wants to just rule the planet. And the folks in the East are like, the fuck you. No, we have bigger nations over here. You guys are all overstepping. Stay the fuck out of our business. Take care of your weird, shitty coast. We don't care. So she was able to be like, yeah, but sometimes we help, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then in that case, I would just send out invitations for appointments to Rick Carlson, Bluebeard, and Larkstep for the next day to talk laws.
That sounds good. What is an invitation for Moss like?
She attempts to write it as formally as possible from the office of the Chief Justice of Asgard.
Man, you know, it'd be really helpful is if you had someone who could forge this for you so it would look real fancy and official.
Yeah, but that's not necessary because there's no deception here. Doesn't need to be. This is just, basically the Chief Justice requests your presence, blah, 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 to discuss blah, blah, blah. And then we'll have it signed as in Moss and double signed by Butthole.
Yeah, sure, he'll sign it. Moss, weird question for you. Now that you're the Chief Justice and in charge of the town watch and everybody's aware that you're like running the police force, are you still going to sleep in a tent beside all the dead bodies?
Dead bodies
There's
blew
no
away.
dead bodies.
So it's just
That's all.
just a grove.
It's just life.
Are you still just going to sleep in a tent outside?
I think so.
Okay, are you going to post officers to like stand around you because criminals who have a problem with the police could just kidnap the chief of the police out of a tent outside?
I suppose I should build a more like permanent structure there.
Why?
Well,
I don't really want to greenlight building you a house currently in our financial circumstances.
No, of course not. Okay, yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to set up an office that wasn't in the Black Castle, there's definitely enough, like, you have access to enough people that people could stand guard while you, like, build a structure. It's just to Butthole's point, like, there's nothing there right now, so it is just kind of like a tent and some trees, but it is also very much a U space, so I think it just depends on, like, where you would want to direct people. But just so you all know, like, collectively now, between everything you've done, you have, like, in addition to the haters, you just have, like...
We're running the place now.
Yeah. Everyone's pretty tickled about getting to vote on a name. They just didn't know they could do that.
Oh, that's good.
It's weird and new.
Glad it came off as fun. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, we have City Watch, keeping watch at night anyways, right? We can just have some in the area. I just want to be accessible and be like, hey.
I think knowing we just overthrew the government and are getting rid of the necromancers and Quinny ran through the streets murdering anyone who was our opponents, I agree accessibility is important. I just don't know if this is going to read exactly the way you think it's going to with you sleeping in a tent outside the woods.
Oh, because they won't take me seriously because they're used to people in power being in the
Or they think
tower.
it's a supreme power move and that you're like challenging them to come at you.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, you were thinking like a nice person. I was thinking like a piece of shit from here.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe in that case, I can set up like hours during the day when I'm there in the Grove, when people can talk.
Why the Grove? Most people don't associate the police with nature.
But I'm the Chief Justice and
Yep, I'm not disagreeing with
I
you.
love nature.
That's true, but do you want people to think of the Grove as the Chief Justice's office or as like a park that their kids can go play in?
Well, probably a place that's more peaceful, that where they can be free.
Yeah, because you can
To
walk
be
through there
themselves.
whenever you want as Chief
Okay.
Justice. We're not against that, but like,
Oh, no, you're right. I'll take my tent down and leave it open. We can put signs up that's like for public use or...
yeah, that's great. And then
Okay.
If you want, I'm sure there's some kind of mansion or something from somebody that's empty right by there, and we can make that like the town watch station so that it's like you got your office, you got your stuff.
I think I'm just used to like the old days of like wandering around as like a paladin on my own, and people would be like, hey, that's a paladin. And like, I'd be Juniper, so I'd be all like approachable, and that's kind of not the case anymore.
Well, it's a little different for a while, but like the nice thing is we're in a car. Nobody like it. The only thing that might be unapproachable is the role and the fact that we just overthrew the covenant.
Yeah.
But like they like that they got to vote on a name. Nobody seems scared of you as we go around town. Like everybody's on board. Everybody's cool with changelings.
Okay. Yeah, that's so weird. Okay, so I guess I'll sleep in the tower then.
Sure. Yeah. If you want to stay here, yeah, totally.
Okay. Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Great. All right.
This is so weird.
We'll get you to have a room set up inside this big, terrifying palace. Maybe we could bring some potted plants in or something for you at some point. But right now we need them for food, so we're not going to put them in your room.
No, yeah, of course not. What a waste.
Great.
If only the crops hadn't burned. I hesitate to ask this, Ryan. You may not have this yet. If you don't, we can come back to it later. Do you have a crest or a sigil in mind for Asgard?
Fucking hell.
You applauded the return of Farthole Farge. You don't get to be mad about Asgard.
Farthole Farge is delightful.
Asgard is silly, though.
It's just crude.
It is a shield.
Crass. Crass is the word. It's crass.
It is a shield with a star at the center of it that can be read as either a normal star and looking classy or as a butthole.
Yeah. Is it
But
a
it's
brown
not
star?
it's not an explicit
Okay.
butthole.
So it's like a Greendale.
Yeah, it's got like a shield style
What
around
shape
it.
what shape of shield?
Tower shield. So
Tower
it's
shield.
tall. It goes down to a point at the bottom and it goes up. There's the star in the center of it, and then I would say crossed hammers behind it.
Okay. Remarkably understated and classy. I like it. Okay.
Because it's not his personal heraldry, which will be disgusting.
So the butthole where the hammers cross.
The
The star. where the
hammers cross behind the shield.
Yeah.
The shield is in front, and then the star is right where the shield, which will be split into four. It's always got that little like cross to make it four different partial squares. Right at the center is the star.
Cool. All right. The business of the day having concluded, you all turn in for the night. Quinny, are you still sleeping at Gary's, or are you?
Quinny would, yes, he would go back to Gary's, and he'd be thinking about trying some honeypot shit with Felthane, Vint, and Charlemagne, because she's in the neighborhood.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. She's up the road. Up like a spooky curving road.
Yeah. But he'd want to come correctly, so not just empty-handed. I think he wants to get her a gift, so he's going to wait.
Okay.
Yeah. He's going to buy some wine and some meat for, I think it was Chomper or Chompy.
Yeah, Chompy.
Yeah. Just some meat wrapped in butcher's paper and a bottle of wine. And he's going to show up and be like, hey, can we talk?
Is he doing that tomorrow, or is he doing that tonight?
I think.
Honeypot. Come on, it's got to be tonight.
All right. Yeah. We'll go tonight.
Long day. All right.
We'll go tonight.
Okay.
No, don't let me pressure you.
Can you roll me
You
an
wanna do it during the
investigation
day?
to see how good a bottle of wine you can find at this late hour after an election?
Can I?
Oh, fuck. You could also spend stress.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I want to change one thing about the sigil. The shield, instead of being split into four, it's just split vertically, like a butt. So there's a vertical line with a star in the middle.
There
and
it
then
is.
it's got its slightly less subtle butt design. I apologize for interrupting.
No,
my
it's
progress.
important canonically that
Yeah.
we understand what we're dealing with here.
The fresh meat is important, I think, for the wyvern or whatever. So I would buy that legitimately. I think he'll purchase fresh meat legitimately for the wyvern, wrap it in butcher's paper or whatever. But can I pitch something to you about acquiring the wine?
Sure.
Can he go into an abandoned mansion and see if he can get some real classy shit from some rich person's wine collection?
Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd buy that for sure. Okay. So I think We'll go sleight of hand.
Okay.
And just see what you find.
Dirty 20.
Oh yeah. There's just like a basement of a house that's clearly been like abandoned, and there's a bookshelf in a basement that is far too thin, and it's like this is easy stuff for you. So
Okay.
you pull the spine, door slides open, full wine cellar, and you find a good vintage.
Perfect. I'll collect that, and I will make my way to the mansion with a fucking wyvern on it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. yeah. Easy to spot.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you approach the gate, and there's like a massive heavy metal gate around it, embassy style, with a little like sigil of Vasa on it. And there is a Tim Burton Addams Family style bell with just a bell with like an unnecessary amount of curling to it.
Sure, yeah.
Next to the gate.
I'll pull the bell to chime.
Great. The door opens and Charlemagne kind of comes down the walk. She's no longer wearing her armor. She's instead wearing. She's clearly been training. So she's kind of just like in training gear, carrying like an American gladiator style like padded staff,
right? Yeah.
Just kind of over her shoulder. And she's just got her hair like greased back. And she kind of comes down with like a knife in her other hand, though, just in case. And she says, you're the warlock.
I am. I'm Quinny Brownbarrow.
Quinny Brownbarrow. Who's your patron?
I think it's Baba Yaga.
Wait, you mean famed like demon from beyond space and time, Baba Yaga?
The demon mom. The mother of all demons, I guess.
Yeah. All right. That's metal as hell. Hey, what are you doing out here? Does King Bobbert need something?
No. I just I don't know. I just really noticed you when you and Chomper, was it?
Chompy.
When you and
Chomper
Chompy
was his father. Yeah.
When you and Chompy arrived, I just kind of really liked your vibe, and I don't know a lot of warlocks. I was hoping we could talk about, the warlock experience. I don't really have a lot of people to connect with about that. I brought some wine and a little something for Chompy.
Well, I mean, he does like wine, but okay. Can you roll me a deception with advantage, because you're also kind of telling the truth.
Okay, so 21.
Mine says 20 on it. So
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So
God damn it!
she looks at you. She's like, "Is this a diplomatic honeypot situation?"
Could be if you want it to be.
I appreciate honesty and skullduggery. Yeah, come on in, but no smooching. And she throws open the gate.
Just sex. All right, yeah.
She throws open
We won't
the gate
look at each other.
and says,
No face to face.
And so she, as you begin to walk up towards the house, she like holds her hand out for the wine.
Yeah. I'll hand it over.
So she just like pulls out the cork with her teeth and spits it out and takes a swig and is like, "Oh wow, this tastes like a rich douchebag bought it."
He probably did. He's probably dead now.
Fantastic. I love a dead man's wine. She takes a swig and she says, "So, listen, before we get into warlock stuff, what's the deal with this new Reginald?"
What do you want to know about him? Just the deal?
Well, I mean, I knew the original Reginald and knew this Reginald, and he and I got along really well, and I guess he's dead.
Yeah.
So there's that. But is this guy the same? I haven't met any interdimensional. We've been tracking the interdimensional stuff. The Warlock Knight's been calling it the Great Smash Up, where they think that there's all the rumors going around. That
Sure, yeah.
different
I've
ones-
heard the word collide used.
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little more elegant.
I don't think they'll take it, but I will suggest it at the
Okay.
next meeting. Anyway, I haven't met anyone from one of these alternate dimension situations, and I guess I'm wondering: is this Reginald like the Reginald I knew, or is he different?
I knew the Reginald you knew a little bit. I would say this one's different. He's coming from a place where you need to be harder, I'd say, where tenacity and ferociousness is usually rewarded if you're strong, smart and cunning enough, and he is.
Interesting. And you knew my Reginald.
A little bit.
How?
More by reputation than anything.
Yeah, he certainly made a splash. I was always a little disappointed that he decided to go cavorting around rather than overthrowing his father and seizing the kingdom.
Yeah, we only really ran into each other once.
This was an explosive encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Okay, well, come on. I'm sorry about the state
You
of
had
the
a
place.
penetrating conversation.
You could almost
You might even say
us.
I died.
So she welcomes you in, and the embassy mansion is like understandably kind of empty. She says you'll have to excuse the state of the place. Honestly, we haven't had much reason to be here in some time. Having dealt with our own Witch King situation some time ago, the Warlock Knights weren't thrilled about the idea of dealing with a lich who'd seized power. So we've been a little frosty to the people of. Is it Asgard now? I understand.
News pass travels fast, yeah.
Boo. Okay.
Not what I voted for, but hey, that's democracy.
What did you vote for?
Ashgard. Think of like
Okay,
embers.
do you think they just heard Asgard and went with that?
I don't really care.
Honestly, you might be my favorite person in this city. All right, come on in. And she just like there's like a long stick. She picks up and like pokes the ceiling, like a little panel opens up. She's like, "Chubby!" Tosses the meat up, soaks the meat in wine, throws it up in the air, and just like Wyvern Head snaps through, grabs it, and disappears up. And then you just hear like the clattering of clicking claws across the roof as it goes and finds a good place to chomp down. And so she pours some wine for you, pours some wine for herself, and she says, "Okay, what do you want to know about warlocking?"
Well, I told you my patron. Tell me about yours.
Well, then I'd have to kill you.
Is that how that goes?
The Warlock Knights aren't exactly, we don't love talking about that sort of stuff. Now, if you want to swear fealty to me, the way we do it in Vasa is if you have any magical I don't know if you've seen the stage play Star Wars, but there is those who show any kind of magical aptitude in Vasa have to swear themselves onto one of the Warlock Knights, or we kill them, because the last thing we want is, again, another Witch King. So I can't exactly just tell you this stuff. And I also don't think I would just trust you to be like, "I swear," and then I don't know, fucking Pinky swears them. You'd have to come back to Vasa.
That's okay. This was, even under the pretext of a honeypot situation, this was a low intensity visit.
I see.
From the get-go.
I see.
We don't have to talk about that if you don't want to. But you did mention anyone with any kind of magical aptitude gets folded into the knights. Is that what happened with you?
And she smiles and says, "Yeah, but I worked for it. I don't know where you come from, but Vasa is it's a pretty dog-eat-dog kind of place, and I watched all sorts of kids, try and prove their magical aptitude or get folded up, or just anything to avoid being the serving class, the underclass. There's truly no worse fate in Vasa. So me, I sought out my patron. Some of us do that, but no, I've only ever wanted to be a warlock knight. And admittedly, I kind of thought that maybe, I don't know, I thought maybe there was something with Reginald. I think that there was something there that maybe we could overthrow Akkah. We could roll that together, or, he could come over to Vasa. We could overthrow Vasa. Just basically any rhyming named place we could kick the ass of and take over.
Okay.
But then were
you and Reginald, together?
No,
romantically?
not per se, but
No?
there was always a hint. Who am I to compete with famous thief Meryl Streep? Here she was quite a classy dame.
Big name.
I just he and I grew up together. We were friends. I always enjoyed visiting here. There weren't a lot of things to enjoy in Vasa, so it was always nice to kind of have someone here, and we would just torment the shit out of. Then she pauses, and she's like, "No one at all." We would torment the shit out of no one. She's clearly had wine and is trying not to say butthole.
I was there earlier for her behavior.
Yeah.
I, as Tyler, know what's going on here. Does Quinny also?
I think so. Roll
okay.
a perception, but you can roll at advantage.
I don't want to overreach for being like an omnipresent player.
No,
but I feel like
but like
Quinny's
Quinny caught that too at the time. Like it's
that was insight?
Perception.
Perception. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tell like she's essentially the vibe you're getting, Quinny, is like her mission is going so seemingly well for her that she's not tremendously worried about that right now. Instead, what she's just finding is she showed up expecting to like see her old friend and continue to scheme. Instead, he's dead. There's a different version of him, and the younger brother that she used to like torment is now somehow running the joint. So it's one of those weird, like, everything is technically going her way. It's just not, no one told her life was going to be this way.
I can see how that would be kind of a unusual situation to be in.
Particularly for a nation that is pretty well built on, like, there's a social hierarchy. There's only one way up, and there's no going down. Down is dead. So just go. And it's like, this is weird.
Is that how things are for you in Vassal as well?
She goes, yeah. It's a one-way street. You know, you make your way up.
Is Vassal the same now as it was back then?
Oh, yeah. No.
Nothing's changed?
Vassal is, we stand firm. I mean,
okay.
The things under the Witch King were horrific, and it's taken a long time for Vassal to stabilize. And Telos City is something to see. The Citadel of the Iron Sky is a true feat of magical wonder. And the Ironfell Council that rules it, we can't abide the idea of another god rising or another person trying to steal the power of gods. I don't know how much you know about this region, but the amount of people who have tried to summon a god or become a god and have led to great destruction is it's unreal. You would not. I mean, maybe you would. Again, I don't know where you're from, but
I'm pretty small town in my upbringing. A lot of this stuff is fascinating.
Well,
Please tell me.
The nation of Netherreal has been completely devastated, destroyed by their desire to reach godhead. And as I understand, that's the way that Reginald's mother was starting to turn as well. I know Archibald always wanted to channel the god of war, but I feel like Emily really wanted to create him. Or at least we got rumors of that here and there. Regardless, Netherreal was utterly destroyed by attempting to overthrow the goddess of magic, which was, quite a thing. And it really fucked over Sembia because those two were really on a tear together. And when Netherreal fell, Sembia was really left holding the book. You don't exactly want to be the lesser nation doing the invading and then having the big bad die. Not the best. But anyway, so no, Vassal, people talk of us like we're monsters just out there because we worship gods that they don't like. Telos, Tiamat, Auriel, Bane, Orcus. Like any one god is better than another,
A god is a god is a god.
Can you roll a deception check? Just about, you're correct. This is a good tact. Quinn talking about gods is always a
natural one, so I'll re-roll that. There we go. With a deception 25.
Wow. Okay. She's like, yeah, you get it. This guy gets it.
Yeah.
So in any case, we honor our promises. We worship who we worship. And a lot of people disagree with our system. They think class systems are bad. And it's just because they don't understand that some people are just legitimately worth more than others, And who am I, if you aren't willing to strive to make the deals that you've made with Baba Yaga of all things, you're from a small town and look at you. You've made a deal with the mother of demons. If you're not willing to strive, then you frankly deserve to have a nation built on your back,
Never thought of it that way.
Well, start thinking of that, Quinny Brownbarrow. And she winks at you before saying, I think that's enough conversation for this evening. And then she shows you the door.
All right. I'm keeping the wine.
Damn it.
Take the half bottle.
Yeah. She says, it's a sound play. Perhaps we'll finish the rest later. She winks as you go outside. As soon as you open the door, there's just a puff of fetid breath. And Chompy is like clinging to the side of the building, face just above the door. And he leans down and just licks raw meat up the side of your face.
Oh.
And she goes, oh, well, Chompy's claimed you as his own. Maybe I'll be next. And then she slams the door.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Diovasis, Loki Burrito, Squishy Werewolf, Remy, Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.